made members who deal, and is there still an official policy against it?
So technically, yes, there's always going to be a policy that that tells new members that they're not allowed to deal in drugs, right? But with that being said, I think all of the families have in some kind of form or fashion, have their hands in the drug business. Who exactly, and what families are the most heavily into the drug business, I don't know, but I think that every family, just like for example, gambling and loan sharking, every family is going to be involved in those type of money making things, and drugs is part of that. So it's always going to be a part of it. It might not be like it was years ago, but it's a definite that everybody's definitely involved in some form in the drug business.
Now, I'm going to put this question on this. John and I talk a lot, we're friends, but about different things. But I know you as a very intelligent man, a smart business guy. Strategically, is it the right move? Because like the cartels are making billions, motorcycle clubs, gangs, like they're making, like these companies, they're all making billions in the drug trade, where the organized crime has logistical. You kind of got like the Sicilian mafia could import, private relationships to cartels. Should the mob be in the drugs? I'm not talking about a moral standpoint, from a business standpoint. What do you think?
I go with the old school says.
Yeah.
And they came up with the rule of no drug dealing, and it was for a reason.
Yeah.
And the reason being is the obvious, is that the people that get caught in selling some kind of narcotics or something, the sentence is an extensive sentence. So, you run the risk of a guy flipping and turning because he's not looking to go do 25 years for, once the gravy train ends and he gets caught, you take that risk. So me personally, I believe the answer is no, and that they should stay away from that business, because it's as they say, it's bad business.
Correct.
It's something that is frowned upon by society and law enforcement, and they're going to go after you, with that business. And you could see what they do with the cartels, and that should be left to them. And I just believe that it should be left alone the way it was set up. And it was set up, the rules are the rules, and I go by the rules. And the rules were, we do not deal in drugs. End of story. And some of those people who were actually speaking the rules probably were in the business themselves. But you know how that goes.
True. Now, I agree with you. And it's funny because you don't need another agency of the government after you. Okay, so we've got a lot of questions. We'll keep it moving along. Michael Z is a big fan. He says it's a multi-part question, so I'll ask him each piece at a time. Okay. He goes, you seem to be very turned off that the codes that were talked about were not followed through on. And we talk about that a lot. Like you say things and I'm shocked. But at the time when these codes were not followed through on and not followed at the time, was that a shock to you?
No, not really, but not to the extent that I wind up seeing firsthand. Obviously through the media and the newspapers and everything else, you learn things. You hear things, you hear cases, and you only can know so much. But when you are in that life, you get to see the fishbowl from the inside, and I just could not believe what I was seeing, and it just discouraged me. It was bad, and with that being said, I would have to say that people have called me all kinds of names, right? And I've seen all the names that they call me, and I always say, and I may have told you, that when they come up with a name for everyone in that life who broke all the rules, I'll accept that name.
I agree.
All right. So I'll jump on board on that, whatever name they come up and whatever name they want to label as almost as a whole of Cosa Nostra, what these people are breaking every single rule, then come up with that name and I'll accept that name for myself. So that's really what I have to say about that.
And I agree with that one as well, because you got to pick a lane, right? It's either there's rules or not, you know?
You either follow them or you do not.
Agreed. Now, this is a tough one, John. I'm not gonna lie. This one's a tough one. Also, and this is for Michael Z as well. Also, you appear to be a very loyal man to those who care about you. Did you build any close relationships when you were involved with anyone that you won't talk about based off that loyalty? So, and that's a statement. I would imagine, based how you speak and write, you would protect those close to you. It seems only those who wronged you and stabbed you in the back are the ones you wanted to face. So essentially, are you kind of like, hey, you're kind of getting maybe back at those that kind of wronged you, and you seem